Hello class! Thank you for watching these videos. Make sure you're always being attentive. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This class is pretty empty, as you can see. But let's go ahead and get started on our lesson. So this is Algebra 1. This is lesson 67, page 436. If I were you, I'd recommend you turning your books. We may not get through all the lesson, but just make sure you're always looking at it and always making sure you're asking me questions. A lot of you are sending me emails. That's very good. If you don't have my email, I'll have it on the drop down box. Make sure you go ahead and look at my the info and it'll be right there. So let's go ahead and get started. I do use the word so a lot, just letting you know. It's my first couple time making videos, so don't judge me. We'll go ahead and get started. Here, inconsistent, consistent and dependent, consistent and independent. We were learning about systems of equations. The first way we learned is graphing them. Remember, when the two graphs, when they intersect at one point, that is the solution. The second way is substitution. You substitute one variable in place of the other one. We did a whole worksheet on that. And the last one is elimination. So we're going to apply two of them today, the elimination and the substitution. The reason why we need to learn all of them is because of these three main things. So on your worksheet, they're going to tell you which one's consistent, dependent, which one's independent, which one's etc. On your quiz, I'm going to ask you which one is it, because each of them are different. First one, if it's inconsistent, that means there is no solution. I think you remember from a test we did, there was one time where there was no answer and there was no solution. There's a name to it. You can't just put no solution. The reason why there's no solution is because it's inconsistent. So that's the first way. If we were to solve for this equation, this is example 1, you have this equation and y equals 3x. We can apply substitution to this and solve for it. So we have what y is, we can put it in place of this y up here. So then we have negative 3x plus 3x, and that is equal to negative 4. We place the y is 3x, and we place it in place of the equation there. So now we solve for it. Negative 3x plus 3x, the one we substituted, that cancels out. It doesn't turn into nothing. There's always a number that represents whenever something is canceled out. That's 0. So now we have 0 equals 4. If you look at the statement for true or false, is that statement true? Nope, it's false. 0 does not equal 4, 4 does not equal 0, so there is no solution. But if there is no solution, it's considered inconsistent. And that's it. Next one. Let's say we have consistent and dependent. So that means there's infinite number of solutions. Basically, it means when you have your solution, you have 0 equals 0. When you have 0 equals 0, that means you have a line that coincides. That means draw the same line over and over again. You have two lines that are right on top of each other. So now, we have this here. We have x plus 3y equals 6. We have 1/3 x plus y equals 2. We're going to go ahead and try to get rid of the fractions. To get rid of a fraction, remember you multiply by the common denominator. Everything is over 1, so the common denominator is 3. So then the first equation stays the same. And the second equation you're multiplying. So 3 times 1/3 x just give you x, plus 3y equals 6. 3 times 2, make sure you're multiplying 3 into everything. Next step, you're trying to get rid of variable. So to get rid of variable, go ahead and multiply the bottom by negative. So I have x plus 3y plus 6. This stays the same. Now the second equation, I'm applying the negative. I get negative x minus 3y equals negative 6. If you notice here, when you're adding them, they all cancel out. When they all cancel out, you have 0 equals 0. When you have 0 equals 0, you end up with a solution called consistent and dependent. So that means there is two names for this one answer. Third one is what we've been doing before. So this is called consistent and independent. When we have one solution, that means we have what x is, we have what y is. We go ahead and solve for it. So here, again, we don't like fractions. Get rid of the fractions first before you start eliminating anything. You could do substitution for this. The book shows you substitution. I prefer elimination. So here, we eliminate the common denominator for the first one. I have 4x minus y equals 3. My second equation, 2x plus y equals 1. So just by eliminating that, I have this equation here. I can cancel this out. I have 6x is equal to 4. So that's just me going, over and over here. So to get x by itself, you divide both sides by 6. And you get x is equal to 2/3. It could be a fraction. So if your answer is a fraction, sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. In this case, it is. So now, x is equal to 2/3. Now we are solving for y. When we solve for y, we go ahead and use one of the equations. I'm going to use this one. We can use the original one, the original 2. I'm just using this one. It makes it easier. 2x plus y equals 1. We know that x is equal to 2/3. So 2 times that. So 2 times 2/3, you get 4/3 plus y equals 1. To get the y by itself, you subtract 4/3 to both sides. And you get y is equal to -1/3. So your solution is x, comma, y. 2/3, comma, -1/3. That means that you have one solution, and that's all. So make sure you go ahead and do your worksheet. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Have a good day.